story that there was once a Banana Gate at a tournament because a tournament organizer forgot to get bananas, and the players were like, "We're not playing until you get bananas. We need the bananas here." And so it was known as Banana Gate.
If Glaive turns this around now, it's time to buy stock in banana. Because I don't know if that's possible, but you know, obviously
sure.
it's going to be exciting. You know, people will attribute everything to that. So I look forward to that happening. 9 rounds in, a bit of a tech issue now. It's 7-1 as a scoreline. SK Gaming off to a blazing start here on Inferno, and honestly, not much going to happen in this round for Astralis. They have invested minimally into this round just to try and give themselves a slight chance of maybe turning it, but ultimately it should be around for SK, especially because they've been making very few mistakes in giving up these rifles versus pistol rounds.
Oh, but that there was an opportunity perhaps. Rotation has come through from Device, and so he will get that smoke down. But once again, Astralis had to give up fairly early on, actually. I mean, Astralis are getting the nades out there, but SK Gaming, it feels like they've got a pretty good grip on how to, within the first 40 seconds of the round, actually take top banana control back. We aren't really seeing too much crazy stuff going on up there. It's very much SK's turf, it seems.
Again, Fur leading the charge. He does get shut down to 4 health. That's a bit uncomfortable. But still a pretty good lead here. Taco will be going down, so for him, if he can get the shot on Device, that will certainly open things up. He's going to charge him with the tech line. That's so aggressive. And a headshot on Kirby. Fallen tired of playing these slow games, cracking open the bomb side and leaving Sip alone.
He's one step ahead, Fallen, as well. He was already rotating down Speedway towards that B site. Because he's saying, oh, I've killed 2. There's only going to be the 1 over on B now. If we just go and kill him, I've got Phelps waiting top banana. Because that's pretty much Phelps' stomping ground now.
Some good leadership.
It's just quick tactical decisions, right? And that's what you do need in a good leader. No hesitation, knows exactly what to do, and comes back when they find Dupree lurking on the site, get that kill, he's like, oh, okay, A is clear now. Instantly turn around. Could have been frag hungry, stat hungry. Could have tried to go and hunt Zipmix regardless, but playing to win the rounds, that's what it's all about here. 8-1, they've been doing a pretty good job of it, SK. And for 111 ADR, yeah.
Yes, the guy doing most of the entry fragging over at Archway here, that's pretty impressive. Like, a lot of the time it's the entry fragger. You're just getting maybe a kill and then you're out, you know, you're done.
Man, I mean, like you're seeing, Fur may only have 9 frags. He's doing a lot of damage in these rounds. And then Cold, 13-1 and 2. He's only died twice versus Astralis.
Well, there's finally something working. Phelps gonna lose the battle at the top of the smoke there against Sip. Gives some breathing space for Astralis to just fall back and make this work. They're going to go for the 4-1 setup, which is a very standard way to approach this kind of situation. Fallen goes down to Device as well, so now things are looking very bad for SK Gaming. If you're Astralis, all you're thinking right now is this is our round. We cannot lose this. It's pretty much in the bag, so if you want to keep the team spirits alive, and Dupree getting flashed in, taking down Cold Sierra, that's how it's done. Fur and Taco now trying to fight their way through, and Fur's going to do a bit more damage before he goes down. At least they get the 2 kills in. For SK Gaming, I mean, probably weren't going to win that round, so at least they do a bit.
Yeah, it would have taken a massive overstep on Astralis' side. It would have taken peeking without the flash, for example, from Dupree, right? Those kinds of mistakes is what costs you rounds in those sorts of situations, but that's where you start to see the experience on Astralis' side. Still keeping their heads enough to call for the flash, take the peek, no risk, easy kill on Cold, and that pretty much seals the deal. And so, Astralis, finally, 2 rounds on the board, and they can actually build just a little bit of bank, a little bit of money on Dupree and Device, because they kept those 3 alive. Very quick B-take here coming through, and Fallen, he gets caught between 2 Molotovs in the Inferno. Not going to be good enough, though. He does not win the duel versus Glaive. Glaive barely gets out there with 23 HP. And yes, sure enough, Astralis will give up top banana now.
Is that banana making the difference somewhere? I can already tell you.
In banana?
Just half a banana that he ate. That was
banana in a banana.
Inferno on Inferno. It's all good.
Hey.
They're wrapping a 3rd player towards the B bomb site while they've got that little boost going on. Very interesting, and I think Glaive is just holding a flash, or actually an HC grenade, ready to go to explode anyone coming in here. So, pretty heavy investment for Astralis. Yeah, I'm kind of glad they're rotating this 1 person back. They shouldn't have 3B2A when they're a man up. I think that's too much. So this is a better setup for them, definitely. Phelps. Is he going to be in charge of any kind of magic here once the smoke fades? Could be first man in. 1 good flashbang and he can get the entry that they need. This is still very winnable for SK Gaming.
Certainly. Given this the only two over here, but that boost has been used quite a bit. Right, Phelps is going to check it. Yep, sure enough. It's been used one too many times. Now you can't really get caught off guard by it. Have to admire Phelps for keeping his head and actually checking that angle. Cold and Phelps finding both kills to open up the B site. And that just comes down to experience. What veterans. Device and Dupree, though. Two very quick kills coming right back here for Astralis, and now we're in a 2-on-2 retake.
As that happened, Taco was lurking over at the A side trying to catch any rotators out, but didn't do quite enough. He did get the one kill, but needed a bit more here. Bomb is ticking away right in front of Astralis, and they sort of have to go for it, even though losing this round would be a disaster. Missed shot from Device. Look, it was dead on. Dupree gets one, and he can't get Cold Zero. What an absolute beast. Triple for him instead, and he's all the way up now to, what, 16 kills, I believe. He is out of control. This is brutal, and you have to sort of, if you put yourself in the mind of Astralis, right, because Glaive is so low from the initial engagement, they don't want him to be forward in the battle, so he sort of falls back. But when they're both that locked onto the bomb site, a couple of good grenades there, and both players are rendered almost entirely useless. There was no crossfire. They were just sort of trapped in their own corners. No one could help each other out. Very, I would say, questionable setup. I would have much rather had Glaive play by, say, Coffins with, you know, he didn't actually have a flashbang, but even with the HE, and then have Sip, who was with him, just try and fight it out, you know, close range.
Yeah, it's a tough sell because it just means that it just takes Phelps, A, not jiggle peeking because he backed off, but also B, not checking for the boost. And then Xyp9x gets one kill, drops back, and you can see how in Astralis' minds it's all supposed to work. Unfortunately for them, Phelps doesn't overlook the boost. He's thorough, he checks everything, just like a man on point needs to do. And so it's just, to me right now, SK Gaming, they are making so few errors, at least when it comes to getting onto sites. They're making fewer mistakes than Astralis, and so there you go, they're leading 9-2.
Leading 9-2 is definitely one of the problems facing Astralis. The other one is the fact that they don't have money to keep buying here. Bit of a disaster. Third problem, you could say, is Cold Zero being 16-3 or 16-4 or something like that. It's pretty much just run away with the whole race here.
It's like he could be 2-4 right now, but winning a clutch like that, it's like those are the high impact frags. That's why he makes the big bucks. And so now, well, into Eco, Device up close, Deagle spraying, baiting for his teammate, but they're not going to fall for it. He's waiting, he knows, and Taco will find Dupree. There's the A side open for business. Bomb is immediately going to start rotating over here on the back of Phelps. There, it's very hard, it looks like, to pull the wool over SK Gaming's eyes.
Fallen. Going to take that fight pretty much 100% of the time. Fadeaway shot on Glaive as he rounds the corner will make it a 10th round for the Brazilian side. I mean, everybody's hoping that this is just a taste of what we'll get in the playoffs. You know, you want to see these two teams face off in the arena, be it in the quarterfinals, semifinals, grand finals. Like, you want the full audience there. Right now, Astralis is certainly getting a bit of a wake-up call, saying SK Gaming, they are absolutely ready for this kind of battle. 13th round here. This is a remarkable performance from them. And what can SK or what can Astralis do to bring this one back? They've still played, I would say, a fairly timid brand of Counter-Strike on the Danish side. There haven't been that many opportunities for adventure. Seen a couple of fights at Top Banana that some of the time have worked out for them, but certainly there are other opportunities. You see how they're pretty much just blowing out all of apartments here, so Astralis don't feel like trying anything there, but I still think the late retake of Top Banana is at least one model to work with.
Well, Fallen's got the angle. We saw him pick up a shot here last time he had this, when he was this far pushed up, so we'll see the adjustments coming through. Does Kirby step out into the open? No. Counting on his teammate to watch his back.
Oh, this is dangerous.
Yeah, he's right on the edge, isn't he? But he is protected so long as he doesn't overstep. The nade's coming through, though. He's trying to bait a response out. Fallen, all he wants is for that one step too far in the wrong direction. Oh, they still got some time to maneuver here, though. 40 seconds left on the clock for SK Gaming.
This is so bold. The focus on Fallen Kjaerbye, missing the opportunity he had. The sight on Kjaerbye now. They're ready to pounce on the bomb side. The rotation is coming, but it's miles away. And Glaive going down is an absolute disaster. Dupree, the last on the side, pistols out instead. Fur right in front. He actually hits the headshot. Now he's trying to buy more time, but oh no! The smoke goes too far! And he's going to be crisped by Fallen. Device missing the chance, and he might not get a second chance either. Now all they have to do is case buy time here. Astralis are in a lot of trouble. Do they fight for this, or do they just save the rifles and try and make it back later on? There was a bit of a gap there. Sip picking up a kill on Phelps. It might just still be doable. I'm worried about the fact that Cold Zero is alive and Fallen is the other player. How do you break this 2v2? Cold Zero hitting on one headshot and one more to come. Taking down the last two players. What a brutal turn of events. Cold Zero now 18 kills and just 3 deaths. Can anyone stop this man?
Nobody from Denmark, it would appear.
Not at the moment. This is out of control, isn't it?
He's far too good right now, but he's getting the setups as well. The prime position in Graveyard, which is so difficult to deal with. And well, you got to give it to Dupree. He certainly put up a fight here, but you're right.
Oh, that was
a flash. Exactly, yeah. He was just screwed.
I thought it was a smoke actually, so that wouldn't have helped him at all.
No,
would have made his death more glorious, maybe the flashbang. Just
he just didn't want to see it coming, you know.
Yeah, just blind to it. Well. 11-3. As things are looking grim for Astralis. But you have to admire this as well. Some teams will fall victim to this, and that, you know, they get off to such a good start that they sort of, you know, just get a bit too happy and they end up making basic mistakes, and suddenly they lose 3 rounds at the end of it that they didn't need to lose, and that gives the other team a chance to get back in. Really, SK, I think, are showing almost none of that. They are hyper-focused.
There's no real... I don't think so. You don't mess around with a team like Astralis, and SK certainly know it. The shots, the peekaboo headshot there on Taco, but they're already up onto A. Bomb is going to get planted in the corner. It's not a great plant by any stretch, but they have the bomb site now, and it's on Astralis to actually get the drop. Kjaerbye, Bind's falling looking the wrong way. And Device is still here. He will find the shot on Phelps eventually, and so a man advantage now for Astralis. Device has found an AWP, point blank. Here's the chance, and it's not going to happen because Fire's going to be able to... What? How does Fur miss that shot? Device is at 11 HP. That was 1 bullet.
Yeah, it really would have been. Sip is actually going to try and fight for it. They don't have a kit, so I mean, they can't really buy any time at all. Sip with the headshot. Cold in the corner as the final raid boss, and every single time in this game, he's just making it work. Another double to him.
He just tagged him too.
I love it. This is amazing. That's 20 kills for Cold Zero in the first half of the game. Please. Please.
All he needed to do was like air horns and a teabag there, and that would have been the ultimate. How Cold. 3 big clutches for Cold as well. Although, in the last one, he was set up with the flash, admittedly, from his teammate, and so life was made a little easier for him. But there, that was the shot he had to hit in order to shatter Astralis. It is going to be the buy from Astralis. That was an eco round after all, but it's 12-2 T-side for SK Gaming. A fully bought up SK as well. And once again, for very quick to move into apartments.
So much time, and there is a bit of a setup here for Astralis to try and control Banana for a moment. That smoke, no one is going to try and challenge it. I was wondering, because as soon as they throw the Molotov, could be incentivized to try and just run through and see if you can catch anybody, but SK are going to respect it. Trying with some more. Oh my god, that actually connects with Glaive on the other side. An absolute disaster, and the Molotov to follow. It doesn't bounce off the wall, so they can still stick around, but there's 3 people for SK on the other side. They have to win this Astralis. I mean, 2 rounds is nowhere near enough. 3, still not great, but at least you've given yourself a bit of a chance. The boost on top of the wall to take down Glaive. And now snuck in all the way towards quarters further to take down Dupree. Astralis are so far back on the map, they just have no idea what's happening, and SK are sneaking in through the cracks. It's a masterful first half here for SK Gaming.
Alright, Fallen. We saw a lot of that versus Penta yesterday. Just the wall bank to top Banana repeatedly. He doesn't care if you know he's there. He's still just going to put the shots through and try to get the timing right. Right on the edge of the smoke, though. He's walking up, scopes. Does he spot the man? Yes, he does. Hits the shot. And Cold is there. He's got his back. Not a chance here for Astralis. Device is the man holding, but Cold obliterates him again. And it's all on Zipnix. 1v5. This is a tall order here for the Dane. It's not looking too hot. They know where he is, and it's only a matter of time until Taco, or Phelps, in this case, finds the shot. 13-2 at the end of the first half, and that was total and utter domination.
I mean, mother of God, he's dropped 23 kills in just 3 deaths to coldzera. He's gunning for a group stage record right now in terms of kill-death ratio. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but he's got to be close. Like, this is completely obscene. And you're right to say, I mean, it's true, coldzera's had a lot of setups for his team, but this is still just remarkable. The parkour right onto the hay cart for the headshot on the final player on the site. What a brutal way to get started here. A wake-up call for Astralis, a sign for everybody else in the tournament that SK are not going to let this one go. They're certainly going to make the playoffs, and they want to keep going as well. 13-2 here. Of course, this is only going to be their second win in the group stage, but still a remarkable form that they're in right now.
Oh yeah, and if you're just dumpstering Astralis like this in your second game, you're going to be up 2-0. Whoever faces you in that 2-0 bracket, they're not going to be too happy to draw that team. It's going to be Phelps holding close. The splash is not effective. It's on Fur now to bring it back. That's not going to happen. Device, 2 headshots picked up, 1 for Kirby, 1 for Device, and a B site that could have been swarmed there by Astralis, but they were a bit too far back in Banana, playing a little bit too passively, and that gives them some room to work with here. Fallen finds Glaive.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of damage to Taco over at the over the pit position, so I think intentionally Astralis don't want to rush into any kind of madness here. Fallen, close tapping with the USP, trying to fall back, and he's going to get overrun. Kirby finding the second kill here. Great work on him now. 2 versus 4. I say this with a bit of hesitation. Surely Astralis can win this round.
What's going to be fun to see is whether Astralis can win the next one.
That too.
And that's the trend, it looks like. SK won the first half pistol on the T side, made it look easy, and well, Astralis are giving them a bit of a show here on the B side as well. Every shot connects. Kirby with the 2 kills. It was Glaive who missed out on the party there. No chance to pad his stats. But now, we'll see. SK, they lost the follow-up round in the first half. Now it's up to us, a little bit of pressure here on Astralis. And I love this from Astralis. What a statement. We know that you're going to be going for the Force, SK Gaming, so what are we going to do? We're actually just going to fully invest in nades and roast you out. Have the nade superiority and make that the game plan here in this round.
Yeah, I think that's not a bad idea at all.
Jesus.
So many corners on Inferno that you have to check. Just taking top banana is one of them, but even going on to the B-bomb side, or if you're going Arch instead, you need to be able to bomb out all of those positions so that you don't run into anything close like this. A bit scary, moment of pure panic for Sip there.
Yeah, that was bizarre. Taco only connecting with the 1. Device hitting one hell of a nade, though. Down to 43 HP, max nade right in the face for him. That's never pleasant. And that would soften him up. You see, Taco wishes now that he had run into Device after he ate that nade. Life would have been that much easier.
Smoke, flash, more flashes coming through. Phelps, good position, but the jump in from Kirby is so hard to deal with if you got that C-set 75. Coldest managed to swap positions with the rest of the Astralis team that were coming in through the apartment, so that's a bit odd. Him and Fur, though, I think exit kills are the best you can hope for in a round like this. Astralis doing a very respectable job here at the beginning of the second half, and I mean, if they want any chance at some sort of miracle comeback, they have to.
No, they have to exactly get that very strong start, build that strong economy. You're getting kills with UMPs, fantastic. It's a big, well, you're going to get a whole lot of money in the bank. Dupree finds a kill of his own. Only $600 goes into his pocket, and it will continue that way, seeing as how SK Gaming with the force in this round, they won't be able to force up in this one here. Or if they did, that would be a hugely risky play to go for. Instead, it's Taco and Fallen managing their economy, and so it makes you think double up. Could be in the cards. And coldzera will be the one to invest the $200 in the flash grenade. So hard you go apart from that flash, and let's see what kind of setup SK Gaming have here to use that. That 1 nade could make a world of difference.
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping that it would be like a 5-man stack or something. Seems like that's not quite the case. Already a lot of top banana control here for the Astralis team. Highly likely that this will be 13-5. Which is not that much comfort again if you're Astralis. The road back is just so far right now. But again, there is this returning problem for any CT side on this map, which is how do you actually hold the bomb sites? How do you get the information to know where to put your players? And it's definitely not easy.
Kirby doesn't check the boost. Do you see that?
Yeah.
He doesn't pre-aim the boost. He just kind of scrolled across. So that could be a little... I mean, obviously, SK have no way of knowing that, but I mean, if they do decide to go for the boost later on here, SK, that could be something that perhaps catches him off guard if KRB's leading the way again. Interesting.
Something that, now that we're talking about that position, which is still to this day called new boxes, I always wonder why don't people just Molotov it? This easy Molotovs you can land that even land on top of the box, so it actually lands on top of the boost and it spills down behind. And they're not really that difficult to throw, so seems like that's gone a bit out of style.
Jesus, this is where I really kind of... I wish if you're Hardy going like this, that you are actually just trying to save. Because literally they're just running around with UMPs. You're just basically injecting steroids into Astralis' economy by just running in here. You're going to make, what, $300 with a kill with the USP? Every time they get a kill with a UMP, that's just more money that you're going to have to deal with later on in the half.
And they're going to swap out immediately for all the AKs here.
Oh, no double AWP. Instead it's Taco. Okay, he'll have the kit. That's where that money's gone.
You have to look forward to seeing Fallen open again. We talked about Kenny in the last game being good at sort of the close combat opening, or combat opening, I think as Chad has been calling it. But Fallen, I think, is an absolute champion as well. I love watching him play close quarters with this particular gun. Maybe we'll get a chance to see why. He's actually going to hit that shot and trying to fall back around the corner. Didn't quite take down the nice little speed behind it. Taco, run and gun against Sip. He's going to go down to the pre with a kill on Cold Zero. And that is the big man getting taken down. Every time you take out Cold Zero in this best of one, you've done a good job.
This is some big man gaming here from Astralis as well. That was Brazen. We'll just run straight up to top mid. No flashes, no nothing. Fallen is going to be kicking himself that he missed those two shots. That could have been completely destructive to Astralis' strategy. Instead, it will be KRB catching Phelps. And the man advantage now, making this retake very difficult here for SK Gaming. So many angles to worry about, and sure enough, they're just going to back off and save the guns. He is on the hunt, but Fallen does not want to risk this AWP. But that was just... sometimes you still wish that you could draw on the map, right, you know, as a commentator, but just to run straight up, rush short on A, and plow through, no matter what, that's quite the call coming in from Glaive.
Yeah, he knew that was their first buy round and probably just saying, listen, if we're going to have to make them respect us here, and this is the first chance they have rifles, so make sure this becomes really not a good round for them. They're doing a great job holding onto the rifles and making it a bit more expensive for Astralis, but still probably...
survives on 1 HP.
Fully calculated, man. He knew that.
He knew that.
A little pocket calculator out saying how many yards the bomb's on, how much damage per yard. I've got it. I'm fine. Well then, 13-6 is the scoreline. Still a fairly huge gap between the 2 7 rounds, in fact. But it's absolutely surmountable here for Astralis. You can actually close it. You can still make this work. In very much the same way as SK did. I mean, the one feature of Astralis' CT side is that they did not have money for anything. So that's the first step. Oh, he sees the top of the head and almost could have got that kill. That would have been a great way to get started.
Still with such an aggressive position, stacked no less. You're running a huge risk if you're SK Gaming at that point because it's such a common HE to throw right there on that corner. Couple of HEs in there, you could just be sight wide open. That would be a disaster. But it's not the case, and they do survive. And SK with the force, the 2 UMPs on Phelps and Cold Zero, and we'll see what they'll be capable of with here, as it is going to be Astralis looking to change up the pace here towards the B site this time.
Oh, that's so incredibly risky if you're Fallen. He was wondering if he should flash himself in to retake the position, but didn't really feel comfortable now. A couple of counter grenades coming out. Glaive wants to edge his way in. He sees just the hand and not for the Molotov, and he knows Fallen gonna have a hard time coming through. He gets the kill and escapes back for the smoke. Unbelievable play from Fallen. That might just have been enough here. Now there's only 40 seconds in this 4 versus 5. How does he get away with it? Why is no one able to punish it? Everyone looking at the back of the bomb site, and Fur, who was supposed to be Molotov to his death, is now still living, and the whole SK team have shown up. They're all, well, at least 3 of them in position here, the rest close by as well. Fur goes down to device, Fallen again, smoked off, and surely this time they're going to deny him the chance to get another kill. Maybe Astralis have found a way to make it through. The bomb is going to be going down, and a kill on Fallen. It's a big step in the right direction. Device doing more work, taking down Phelps, and surely just back off and save this. Don't take this fight.
He's got this. He has every amount of faith in his ability to hit the shots. Because his team, he already knows that they've got this on lock. That the AWP will be saved if he were to die. Instead, he wants to get that ice. Can he get it? Cold! Cold is just trying to keep him on this side as long as possible. Because now Device is the only one over here, but his teammate is rotating over, and sure enough, Cold. What a beast. What a monster. He's cost them the op, and he's going to go even further. Takes the headshot on Kevin too, and Astralis, what was supposed to be a perfect round for you, and can he actually get in here and get the AWP off Device? Unbelievable. Cold is so next level.
It's just madness, isn't it?
That is getting the most out of a horrible situation.
I mean, it speaks to the depth of talent just in this one game, these 10 players. You give any one of them a chance to do something and they'll crack it wide open. This is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Quad kill for Device in this round. I mean, I would actually say this fight against Taco is too much. Like, don't do that, but it does work out just fine. He gets the kill. 7-13 now, 6-round difference. Double up on SK's side. And then supplied by a bit of, just a bit of pistols here and there. Strange round here. Obviously saved one of them, but still.
Yeah, the dog thinks it's strange too. It's already growling.
Yes, indeed.
What I'm wondering about here... It's fallen. I mean, they've split up the AWPs, and Cold is in a one-and-done spot with his off. So, I mean, the action Taco, sure enough. And the instant headshot on Zipnix. At that range, down to 19 HP. Unbelievable. Well, actually, it is easy to believe. But there you go. That's the fact of it. The matter is that Zipnix now is going to be just a little bit more careful when it comes to pushing onto the site. His mates are going to have to back him up, and we'll see. Can they actually get in position to take advantage of the AWP because Cold is still alive? Taco wins the duel versus Zipnix eventually, but Arch is open, and that opens up Fallen to getting flanked here by Kierby or Glaive both. Doesn't matter. Fallen hits the shot.
A lot of trouble here. Taco actually pushed through the smoke in apartments to get that kill on Sip as well. That's incredibly bold. I think the only chance here is actually for Glaive to open it up. He's the one who's deep in the bomb site. He needs to get a kill on someone before the rest start to come out. There's one grenade coming in. Glaive almost has to be the linchpin here. Fallen is so close. If they get this kill, that's all they need. Some grenades around Glaive. There's the kill on one. Flying for a second. Could be it. He takes down Phelps as well. He's opened it up, and Taco gets completely jumped on, crushed by debris. And that will leave Cold Zero at the back of the site. Never underestimate this man. He's going to get the headshot on Device. 10 seconds left. Dupree will take him down. Still makes it a 1 versus 1 with 8 seconds left.
What?
Fakes the bomb. Dupree, he's just waiting for it. Now he's got no time. Oh my god! He was sure Fur was right next to him. That's a round for SK. An absolute frustration for Dupree. He was so sure he would have been right there.
I gotta walk a little bit. Oh.
Well, it actually, in a lot of ways, it makes perfect sense because if Fur is right next to him and he plants, even if it's default or inside the site, doesn't really matter. If Fur is right there with 8 seconds, he can't fake it. So then he has to go for the full plant and he could die immediately. So I don't know. It's a bit of a coin flip in that situation. That's so hard. It is really hard to watch, obviously, at that point in the game, having done all of that. That might have been the last straw for Astralis. They have some money, but not a lot in this round, and SK Gaming, no. 2 more rounds.
Life isn't fair sometimes, Anders, right?
Most
Glaive,
of the time.
Everybody, doing their part. You've got to be thinking like you actually found a way in a 3v5 to get back in and win the round, and then to lose in that fashion, that's painful. And while they don't have a whole lot of mistakes that they can make here, Astralis, 14-7, SK Gaming, they get a new lease on life. Now they have the AWP saved up. They have the rifles. And it's Astralis who are on the back foot, because if Astralis lose this round, they're going to be forcing. And that could be SK Gaming taking this win here versus the Danes.
Fur does go down, but Fallen hiding behind. What a great setup there. 3 versus 4. Still not the end of the world here for Astralis, because a bit tricky for SK to try and figure out exactly where to put their men. Fallen not flashed, but hitting or missing the shot there. That's really uncharacteristic. Bit of a chance for Device to take down Phelps, but he was hiding in a good position. So with 25 seconds, the bomb is going to be going down. Everything is on the line here, and I would say Kjaerbye's been playing quite well in the second half. I think now is the time for him to step it up 100% and come back in it.
Due to his positioning, he is always so long to rotate over. But at least Phelps and Taco are waiting, and they're going to move together through as a unit. That's exactly what you need to do here. You've got the three, move together, stay tight, cold, watching to make sure nobody can flank from behind. He's keeping an eye on the site itself as Phelps and Taco move in as a duo. Kjaerbye hits the shot, but that gets away. Still, Kjaerbye can continue to hit the shots. Yes, he can, of course. 3 headshots for him. Locks it down for Astralis, and they come right back into it. After the glitch in the Matrix of the last round, Anders, Astralis set things right. 14-8.
Time for a bit of a deep breath here, I think. Timeout being called for. This is a great setup. There was another problem here for SK, which is even if Kjaerbye only gets the 2 kills, they don't have a smoke to lure Sip in from Banana, right? So they had to sort of try and defuse out in the open, which is never good fun. But yeah, what a remarkable triple for him. Really, really stepped it up in the second half here, Kjaerbye. And does come alive for them right here. So now the gap is down to 6 rounds. Just 6 rounds. Sounds like a lot, but... And it would be a lot if all 6 rounds were rifle rounds for SK, you know. Then you would say, well, definitely that's going to be going in favor of the Brazilian side. But that's not going to be the case. And it's kind of the same dilemma that Astralis were just having on the CT side. Don't have money. You have to keep sort of ecoing or buying up a little bit. And if you just lose the wrong rounds, you're not going to have much of a chance here. I mean, in many ways, the second half has actually started off better for Astralis than it did for SK. Just in terms of Astralis winning the first 5 rounds, then losing 1, then winning the next. Cracking the SK economy.
Fear my fire.
Another round of eco. They certainly did crack the economy here. At least in the short term, SK Gaming are getting a bit of an experience. They feel now what Astralis did to them in the first half. And so now we get to see Astralis just kind of stroll through here in this round, or at least it should be the case. Just a little bit of damage.
Taco trying to see if he can make it out. It's a nice shot from Cold Sierra. Relentless in his pursuit for more kills. Oh my god! Another headshot coming in, taking down Sipnix. How does he even do it?
Not like this.
Exactly like this, Semler. Relentless Cold Sierra. 33 kills at the moment. Device and Glaive trying to keep it alive, but they have been completely shell-shocked by Cold Sierra. He's making a legendary name for himself and has been for a long time. Device and Glaive, you got to be wondering now, how can we stop this? We had everything going on in this round. We'd cracked their economy. We had everything working the right way.
This isn't over, Anders. They know that they're up against a hard eco pretty much. Apart from the Deke, there's a chance here. Fallen, no, catching Glaive sleeping. Just the right angle. They're going to try to peek him together. Exactly right. This is how you do it, SK, but you don't line up. Glaive sprays down water. Device can now bring this back. No Kevlar means it's very difficult to take spray fights versus the machine guns, and very well played here by Astralis. Duoing up, although I speak too soon. Fur shows that he can up too. We've got Glaive on 7 HP, 1v1 versus Fur.
What the hell is this madness? He's gonna go straight for the plant, obviously. I can't believe what I'm seeing. Will he make enough noise? Glaive trying to get up on top of the fountain. Making a bit. Fur coming in. Looking to pre-fire the angle. In fact, did he get the headshot? Taking down Glaive. Absolutely remarkable. And he's gonna make a run. He doesn't have a kit.
Yeah.
This is a very bit of an overreach, I would say. Don't play any games now, Fur. It isn't worth it. Gonna have plenty of time for the defuse once he turns around. That's 15-8 here, favoring SK Gaming. And honestly, I mean, in that 2 versus 4, they had the bomb in boiler room. You know, they could have waited quite a while, I think, for Astralis to make it up. The fact that they were fighting in middle was risky, very risky.
But the way they did it, that's the thing. The way they did it, going together as a group, all 4, strength in numbers, right? It's so hard in CS:GO to do that. Get multiple spray downs unless they line up to get multiple spray downs against P250s. P250s do so much damage. So do Deagles.
I mean,
he is so nuts. Cold is just unreal. If you're SK, you've got to be so happy right now that he is really in peak performance for the major. You could be thinking maybe he has an off time, right? You guys have been on the road for more than a month now, just attending back-to-back tournaments. Cold can have an off day. And Cold, this is why he's nicknamed the Terminator.
It's just beautiful to watch, isn't it? Like,
he just never stops.
Have to appreciate that level. 15-8. Astralis need just casually 7 rounds on the road to fight for overtime. That's all they need. A tough ask right now. Double orb is what they're up against. Cold Sierra has one of them. 33-10. That's a kill death ratio. Please. But they might be onto something here, though.
Yeah, the Cascade?
Yeah, because Taco's the only one here with the M4. That's not going to be too easy to hold this. Finally, a bit of a rotation coming in with Phelps. Taco standing up, getting one, and then getting shut down right afterwards.
Ah, but the headshot... Oh, it oversips? No, somehow it doesn't connect with Zipnix. Good communication there. Phelps quick to react on Taco's information that somebody got dinked in that pit, but it's not going to be that. Instead, it's a man advantage. They're going to have to do this the hard way here, SK Gaming, because the afterplants are pretty decent here for Astralis. 2 guys in pit to cover both angles, and a man on site to set up the crossfire.
Kebu even has a Molotov that he just put out, so that's going to buy even more time here. And SK might want to think about whether or not they want to keep doing this, just because they have so much room to work with. They are actually going to go for the retake, even though it's a bit late here, running right in, Fallen picking up the kill, and Cold Sierra with a shot on Sip, shutting it down and winning against Astralis on Inferno 16-8, with Cold Sierra dropping ridiculously 35 kills in one game. A message has been sent to every single team in this tournament. You've got to fear this guy. Find a way to shut him down, find a way to kill him, or he will do this every time. I can't believe what we just seen. We
just saw, well, Astralis, they struggled mightily going to overtime on Overpass versus Immortals yesterday, the second best team in Brazil. Well, turns out there's still quite a gap between the second best and first best.
There is, and I mean, so obviously SK were having a pretty tough time yesterday too. The game yesterday was pretty miserable as well. SK, they did sort of end up winning it, but they weren't looking too great either. But I think what we're just seeing is that you lose the economic fight on CT side Inferno, you are going to have a terrible time. So whatever it takes to stop that from happening, that has to be the name of the game for the future. Honestly, just a remarkable job. I'm sure Astralis are going to bounce back, but SK are, yeah, exactly where we want them.
35-1-10 in regulation time for Cold Sierra. Nearly drops a 40 bomb in regulation. Not
all over the map with all sorts of different weapons, you can't help but just sit back and enjoy it.
No, I mean, it's just disgusting, honestly. Like, we even had Fnatic watch.
I mean, yesterday he had those game-winning rounds, consecutive rounds with 4 kills. Here it's just been throughout the game, just consistently delivering for his team. And, you know, it's a bit difficult to talk about strategy and team play and you know, stuff like that when one player has such a great individual performance. But what kind of set the tone for SK was that third round, actually. They won pistol, they lost the second round, and then in that third round, it was such a scrappy round towards the B bomb site. You know, it seemed like Astralis had the hold, they had the defense covered, and then just like great double peaks by SK Gaming, great team play in duos and in trios in that after-plan situation really turned the game around for them. Astralis went into a force of their own, couldn't convert, and that's where SK got a hold of the economy and the first half.
Yeah, it just shows how dangerous it is. And
This is the.
no,
I
it's
don't
just
even
the
have
fact we
words for
full
that.
Sarah.
I was going to describe that as dirty Counter-Strike
Yeah.
because actually I had Olaf Masters sitting next to me watching the game, and we were talking about something completely different, and we just looked up and saw that and went, "Well, that's disgusting."
Yeah,
And he actually, his words were, "He's just ridiculous."
definitely. No, I mean, and throughout the whole series as well, it was just I would say it's just outclassed from SK, because if you look at how every round almost turned out, we don't even have a lot of bomb plants. Most of the time, so it's just win rounds based on elimination, because Coltero was just running around killing everyone.
I just want to put his. And we're going to carry on. Right.
Bom pessoal, a live vai acabar por aqui. Eu estava mesmo só a transmitir o jogo dos SK. E pronto.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
For sure. We've got Yanko and Fifth Laren alongside, guys.
I actually have a
Ok. Vamos ficar por aqui. Espero que tenham gostado da live. E fiquem bem.